Hi, my name is Becca. Welcome back to Raising Them Simply. Here we share all about our secular homeschool as a family of 5. And today we're going to chat a little bit about how we approach gifts in our home. If you are new here, I have a second grader, a preschooler, a toddler, and another one on the way. I'm also a part-time working mom as a nurse. So this channel is all things homeschool and how we make it work for our family. If any of that interests you, please hit that subscribe button so you're notified of future videos. But let's jump into it. So I know this is not a directly homeschool related kind of topic, but I did want to talk about it because we can do these things to kind of help with our homeschool too. And this is kind of the busy season where it ramps up for that as the holidays are coming up. This is also our busy time of year for our family because all of mine and my husband's and all of our children's birthdays are between August and February. And so I feel like especially the last half of the year we spend the first half of the year recovering from the last half of the year with all the gifts and everything that come into our family, and it can become very overwhelming if we aren't being intentional about it. And so I just wanted to make this video on how we approach different gifts and stuff like that for our family and ways that we use it to actually help supplement for our homeschool. So first things first is we do experience gifts. Now, not everyone is going to want to do this because obviously kids like the act of physically opening a gift, but excuse me, but we do a lot of experience gifts. For example, my mom is going to be taking my daughter to Disney on Ice for her as a birthday gift. She's going to gift her a fancy dress to wear to that event. So she has something to actually open, but then that she gets that one-on-one time with her and gets to build some really special, amazing memories with my mom doing that. Another thing that we do is that my parents, there are tons of different homeschool discounts out there, and we live within driving distance of Wisconsin Dells, and Wisconsin Dells partners with different homeschoolers to provide discounts during slow parts of their month. So depending on the park, it's $99 to $120 per night to stay there, and that includes passes. So my parents give us money for Christmas to help pay for us to be able to take that trip every January or February, which has been really, really nice. So they will gift the kids like a beach towel, new swimsuits, swim shoes if they want those. So they have something to open up, but then they have that money that helps pay for that because that is something that we wouldn't be able to normally afford otherwise. And so that's something really, really special. So please keep in mind different experience gifts. They don't have to be elaborate like Wisconsin Dells or anything like that. It could be going to get their nails done with Nana and Papa, or maybe just going to the zoo for the day or something like that. But that's something really neat that they can do that's not going to add to all the stuff in your house. The second thing that we do is we do different educational kits. One example of that would be, I talked about this in a recent video. I will link this down below, but this is a Snap Circuits kit. My dad is an electrician and, excuse me, my husband is really into electrical as well. My son is very mechanically minded. He is my 7-year-old. And so he got him this kit where he can make these different circuits himself. The directions are very easy to follow. There are some written directions, but a lot of it is pictures so that you can look at it as well. So if you have kind of a struggling reader, that's very helpful. My son's able to do this by himself, and he's gotten to the point where he's been able to make his own circuits as well, to make different noises, to make a fan go off, to make blinking lights, all those things. So this is something that he really enjoys, and you can use this to supplement into your homeschool. National Geographic has tons of these kits. One of them, which is like a dinosaur modeling kit that we got for my son's birthday or Christmas last year or maybe even the year before, where it's skeletons and then modeling clay, where they have to do the modeling clay around the dinosaur skeleton. They could decorate it however they want. And that is something that we've been doing for our pre-history unit. They have different ones too for like anatomy, and they have volcano sets, tons of them, and they're relatively inexpensive. I will link the favorite ones that we have gotten or that we still use down below so that you can kind of get an idea. But a lot of these are anywhere from $20 to $30. So these are really cost-effective ways, and you can save them, or you can figure out which ones would go well with certain times of you doing school. And then when family and friends ask different gift ideas, you can send the links of those to them, and you can use it as a way to incorporate more hands-on learning into your homeschool. Another thing that we do is we do memberships or subscriptions. So my in-laws, they do a membership to somewhere every year for us. Up until this year, it's been the Minnesota Zoo. So we get a family membership where my in-laws pay for us to be able to have that annual membership for the Minnesota Zoo. And that has been great. Not only does it get super cold here in Minnesota in the winter, and it helps us get out of the house one day a week, which is super important in the dead of winter for us, and we still get that fresh air and everything. But we've been able to incorporate this into school so much. For example, we did around the world for Build Your Library for my son's kindergarten year. And when we would learn about different animals and stuff and areas from different continents, what I would do is I would say, okay, here is a map. I would do a generic blank outline map of the world. And I would say maybe red is going to be for Asia, or yellow is going to be for Antarctica, or whatever it is. And I'd say, we're going to go around the zoo, and on these signs, they have different maps for where these animal regions are. And he would have to color in the map for the correct region of where that animal is. And then we would label it together what that animal was. So for example, we have the takin there, which is from Asia. And for whatever reason, that is my son's favorite Asian animal that we actually learned about and did a whole report on his kindergarten year about. And the fact that they had that also at the Minnesota Zoo just helped his learning come to life, and we were able to incorporate it into school more that way. So that has been really great. This year we're doing the Science Museum, which is also really great since we're doing prehistory and ancient civs this year. And so our Science Museum has tons of dinosaurs and shows us the different areas that these bones were at, and they've got shells and rocks and stuff. You can actually bring things to the museum for them to date and tell you what they are if you found a fossil or something like that. They also have a whole human body section. There's just tons of things there. They have an IMAX theater, which is really nice, which is free with our membership because we got a homeschoolers educational discount. Make sure you're looking for those, because homeschoolers, you are an educator too. So excuse me. So we are doing the Science Museum this year, and that has been a huge thing for our homeschooling journeys to be able to have these memberships. There's also different things for subscriptions, such as like Highlights magazines or National Geographic magazines, which are like $15 a year or something like that. They're really inexpensive. You get sent a magazine every month about a different animal or topic, and then you have these logic puzzles that you can do for like the Highlights magazines that my son just loves. So there's lots of different things. Obviously you can get more detailed and do like a Kiwi co-crate or things like that that are more expensive, but these things are really good gift ideas for like grandparents, aunts and uncles, things like that, because what kid doesn't like getting something in the mail that's specifically for them? Another thing that we have done in the past for our children is different sports things. My daughter has been asking to do dance, no joke, since she was like a year and a half. She's turning 4 in a couple weeks, and this is the first year that she's been able to do dance. So she actually wanted to do dance as her birthday gift. So for her birthday, we got her tap shoes. She's still gonna get her party and everything, but her big gift is to be able to do dance. And now, obviously, this is not going to work for every family out there, but and each kid is different, but my kids love that they're able to go and do something more along those experience gifts, instead of like adding more to their toy collection. They would much rather be able to do soccer or dance or a different sport, swimming, we've also done that, than be able to like have more toys to play with. The last thing that my husband and I have done specifically for our kids is we've done different themes when it comes to Christmas presents. So one year we did a art theme. My kids are obsessed with art. They are constantly creating something. You can't see on my table, but the other half of my table right now is cut up pieces of paper and scissors and markers everywhere. My kids just love getting creative and having free reign with stuff. So one year for Christmas, we got them caddies. We got them clickable markers, so if they lost the cap, the marker wouldn't dry out. We got them erasable colored pencils, so if they mess up, they can fix it. We got them new scissors, construction paper, modeling clay, all these things. And that was such a great year because that stuff lasted for longer than a year. They used it every single day. And they loved being able to see all the things that they could do to actually create something. So there are things that our children actually need, right, for everyday like projects for homeschool and stuff like that. But especially if you have an artistic kiddo, doing something like that is really great. You could do the same thing with Play-Doh kits, or maybe pop-it or fidget toys, if that is really helpful when it comes to their school. That would be a really great stocking stuffer, for example. You could do a book theme. If your children are super into reading, you could get them book sets, but you can actually wrap each individual book so they have more to open. We've done a theme with Yoto cards before, where we've done different, their entire stocking was revolved around Yoto cards and different ones that they have been eyeing for a while. So sometimes think a little bit out of the box and some things that your children actually may need, and create a theme around that, and that would be a really great idea for a gift as well. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. It really helps me know what kind of videos you like to see on this channel. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what is your approach when it comes to the gift giving season for your children, and give us some ideas. Please hit that subscribe button. It is a free way for you to be notified of future videos, and it really helps support my channel. Bye.